Hello everyone. In today's lesson, we are going to go over probably the most requested video there is in this entire series. I'm sorry this is taking a little while to get out, but we're going to go over how to actually keyword a listing in order to get that organic search traffic that we all want. So, like I said, this is probably the most requested video we had because I do a lot of videos on research. You've seen that in the Merch Academy, how I go through figure out what kind of customer demand there is in a specific niche, how to actually give that to someone who knows what they're doing. They come back with a design, and then at the end of the day, it is going to be up to you in order to put that design up on Merch by Amazon and use the right keyword in order to get the essentially the traffic to your listings without actually paying to drive the traffic. I'm going to teach you how to keyword your listings in order to get them in front of the most people possible, without keyword stuffing and making your listing look, pretty trustworthy. So, as you can see, we are inside of Merch Informer here, and at the top, I have opened 3 Merch by Amazon pages. As you can see, I've put some designs in here. Now we're going to go over 3 of these designs, and then we might go through some of the designs that we just find in the wild and see, are they properly optimized? What can we do to change them to give you kind of an idea? Because this isn't an exact science. This is something you're going to have to test. But just to say that again, you are going to have to test all of this stuff that I'm telling you. What I'm telling you might work great for one niche, but in another niche, you might want to take a different approach. So this is something you should always be learning how to do, always be working on, and kind of keep in the back of your head that this is something you might need to go through old listings and update once in a while just to make sure that you are at the front of the organic search. So let's just start with the first design I have here. I've uploaded it. This says, "Have you seen Molly?" And it is all it kind of has a 3D effect. I gave this to one of my designers, and this is what they came back with. Now, if you aren't familiar with a certain niche, then you have 2 options. One is completely ignore the niche and move on. That's probably going to be the easiest. But 2, if you find there's customer demand there, like I have, and you're not familiar with the niche, you need to be able to actually look up what kind of keywords people are using in this niche. What is the slang? What are the slang terms that people use? Now, in this case, Molly is a specific drug. I do know that much. So let's just start this off right off the bat. We'll go into Merch Informer, and let's just pull up some of the best-selling shirts with the keyword Molly. So we'll search this, and we'll give this a second to come back with the results. All right, so you can see that it's come back with the results. It's pulled back about 100 results here. We're going to go through and we're going to look for any kind of shirt that is ranking for the keyword Molly. So I see Molly Hatchet, that has nothing to do with drugs, I do not believe. Stacy Plays, let's see, Chicago's Fire, no, that is not related to the drug. Unicorns, let's see, if I can't bring my Molly, I'm not going. Molly's a puppy, so that's unrelated. So right here, we see the very first result that includes some keywords that we want to take a look at. So I'm just going to open up the product here, and as you can see right here, what this is it is a molecule for something. Let's read through the description here. I always like to familiarize myself with a niche before I even do any amount of keywords. Really, you should familiarize yourself before you send the designs to your designer, because you want to make sure that you are not infringing on anyone's rights, and if you don't understand the niche as a whole, then you have to learn. Otherwise, you shouldn't be doing it. So we'll come in here. Let's see, funny shirts legalize marijuana. Looking at this and seeing that it is a trippy Molly MDMA ecstasy X rolling EDM molecule shirt. So right there, I'm hoping that most people that are watching this realizes that is a terrible title. This is literally just a bunch of keywords stuffed in, followed by molecule shirt. So I'm assuming, just from looking at this is a molecule for one of these drugs, and I'm pretty sure that these are all names for the same drug. So we'll come through, we'll look at the bullet points, of course, and again, this is not a trustworthy listing. All they did was they spammed a bunch of keywords, and they hope it ranks. Merch hasn't done anything about this yet, but I'm hoping they will in the future. But in order to make sure that we are doing things the right way, we are not going to keyword stuff like they did. But anyways, it says psychedelic shirt, trippy shirts for women, so on and so forth. LSD shirt, LSD molecule, so on and so forth. So remember, we looked up the keyword Molly, and I'm just going to open up a Google page here and just type in Molly. So now we can learn what this is. Molly is MDMA. This is a drug. This is the very, very long name of what this drug is, aka it's called ecstasy, party drug, the desired effects, so on and so forth. So that is why they're talking about trippy, psychedelics. So we're going to keep this listing open because we're going to come back here. We want to familiarize ourselves with the niche as a whole. So let's keep going down here. Again, this is a name. We're really looking for drug references because the shirt we put up here, Have You Seen Molly, is going to be related to drugs. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to a concert, but typically if you're at a concert, a rave type of concert, people are walking through the crowd asking, you know, have you seen Molly? AKA they're searching out drugs. So that's what we're looking for. So far, I'm not really seeing it. Here is another one. This might be from the same person now that I'm looking at it. And they didn't spam the keywords nearly as much. But as you can see, there's a bunch of keywords here. We are going to use these different keywords in our own listing. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second here. Just see if there's any more shirts. So as you can see, this may or may not be mine. Keep going down. All right, so I don't really see anything. We're going to do one more search. Remember, we did Google it, and Molly is actually a name for the drug MDMA or ecstasy. So we're going to go ahead and search that and see what comes up. All right, so it's brought back the results, and you can see the results are much, much smaller. So this name, common name for, you know, a lot of different people, common name for apparently some baseball players, or I don't actually remember what the shirt was we just saw, but basically we took this, we looked it up, now we're niching down, we're really getting to the bottom of what this niche is all about. It's all about this drug right here, and we're looking for things that are selling. As you can see, all of these are selling, and they're all related to what we want to put up on Merch by Amazon. Now, we're not copying their design. Notice how the designs look different than all of these. What we're doing is we're taking keywords out of the sellers that already managed to get search traffic, and we're going to use those same keywords in our own personal way with our own unique designs. So we'll open this one up, and we have 3 open, so let's just take a look at these. It says funny, have a safe trip, LSD, psychedelic, drug, t-shirt. Come down here, so magic mushrooms, not really our niche, LSD, and MDMA. Now, I don't know if LSD is the same. I think it is. Let's see. Let's just type in MDMA is LSD and see what comes up. So yeah, LSD I believe is similar. We'll just do Control F. Now, if you aren't familiar, Control F searches the page you're on, and you can just search in. As you see, it pops up a search here. We're just going to type in LSD. And we can click Next. Comes over here. So I believe these are actually the same thing. So now that we're on this page, we've basically done our research. We have products that we know are getting search volume because they are selling. So we know that there's demand there. And we know that these shirts right here use keywords in their listing in order to get that organic visibility. So that's what we want to use. So let me open up a notepad here. You can see I have a notepad. I'm going to keep it on the other screen here. And we're just going to go through this listing right here. And what pops out to you, what is related to the shirt? So we'll start at this one. What is related to aka Molly, LSD, MDMA? So we're just going to write these down. Molly, MDMA, let's see, ecstasy, rolling, EDM, because people are really into EDM music. Let's see, we have, and now looking down here at the keywords, in the bullet points. This isn't what we want to do, but there's keywords here. So psychedelic shirt is a good keyword. We have trippy shirt. I'm gonna go through. This is LSD molecule is related to the actual design. Now the one that we are putting up right here has no molecule in it, so we're not going to use that. Remember, it is key that you describe the design and not the shirt. So that is why merch doesn't want you putting order size up or printed in the USA or anything related to that. You want to describe the actual design on the t-shirt, but not the t-shirt itself. That is very, very, very important. We'll go back here. Let's see, lean bottle shirt. I don't think anyone is sipping on MDMA. Codeine. See, now this person right here is putting unrelated keywords into listings. So not only do you need to go through some of the best sellers to see what keywords they're using, make sure that the keywords they're using are actually related to the niche you're putting a shirt up. And if you don't know, codeine is not the same. This is basically like cough syrup, I believe. So unrelated to the niche that we are doing. So we pulled Molly, MDMA, ecstasy, rolling, EDM, psychedelic shirt, and trippy shirt just from this one design. So we're going to close that out, go to this one. Similar design. Both of these are pretty pathetic, but I'm going to use them because they managed to make some sales, so we know that they've gotten visibility that we want. We'll go through here. We entered Molly, MDMA, ecstasy. We entered rolling, rave. So this kind of pops out to me. Rave, people like to go to rave music festivals, so we'll put that in there. We already have EDM. Again, we'll go through here. I'm pretty sure this is probably the same person that we just looked at because they put codeine down here again. So we will exit that one out. We'll take a look at this one. And magic mushrooms, nothing to do with the niche that we are in. LSD, MDMA. We've already added those to our little sheet here. And I think that's really all we need. So we're going to go back to Merch by Amazon, and we're going to list this shirt with the keywords that we got here. Okay, so now we need to pick some colors. I like to start my shirts off pretty low. We're going to start this one at $14.99. Now, again, when you're listing, this is a drug-related shirt. Do not select youth. It will get denied. You will get a strike against your account. It won't be very fun. So we want to pick out the best-looking colors here. Typically, the dark colors look great. I'm going to say that that's actually probably pretty good, so we'll hit next. Alright, now this is the part that you've probably all been waiting for. We need to fill out the product details for the design we're putting up. Now, in the past, I've suggested that every shirt have a new brand name. I have definitely changed my stance on that. I've basically taken a look, and I've decided that moving forward, I like to I use different brand names, but I bunch niches under different brands. So if I have a bunch of dog shirts, I'll put all those shirts under a dog-related brand. If I have a bunch of shirts about drugs, I'll put all those under a drug-related brand, so on and so forth. I still like to get a keyword into the brand name here, but I make it seem like an actual brand. So taking this right here, you can see that we have our keywords that we want to include in the listing. Molly being one of them. MDMA, ecstasy, rolling, EMD. That should not be EMD. That should be EDM. My bad. Psychedelic shirt, trippy shirt, and rave. I did forget to put LSD there. So what I'm going to do is typically for the brand name, I don't put exactly what is on the shirt, but I pick a term that relates to the shirt in the same niche. Now, in this case, LSD definitely relates to Molly, aka ecstasy. So I'm going to put in, LSD. We'll put in something like LSD Rave Co. for company. So you get some keywords in there. LSD, Rave, Co. for company. Maybe we'll put a period there. That looks like an actual company name, an actual brand name. You can use something like this for all your drug shirts. And that is actually going to get a keyword in here without spamming the brand name slot. So very, very important. Now, for the actual title of the product, I like to do two things. One, I want to get the phrase, or at least partial part of the phrase into the title, but I also want to include keywords in the title of my product. So the way that might look is I might say, first, we're just going to enter in what is on the shirt. Have you seen Molly, with 2 L's, and I always follow it up with t-shirt. So have you seen Molly t-shirt? And I typically put some other keywords in the title too. Now, again, over here we have trippy shirt, rave, psychedelic shirt, EDM, rolling, ecstasy, MDMA, and Molly. So I might say in the title, instead of have you seen Molly t-shirt, looking again at the keywords we have, I might go ahead and say trippy, psychedelic, have you seen Molly, rave. Actually, let's just do EDM t-shirt, since we already used LSD up here. So we might use rave down here. So trippy, psychedelic, have you seen Molly, EDM t-shirt. This isn't too long. You can actually say that out loud. It all relates to the actual shirt. And again, we're getting these keywords that we pulled out into the listing without just spamming the hell out of them. That's very, very important. We want the listing rather to kind of resonate with customers and build that trust between the listing page and the customer, because that's how you're going to get them to buy. So let's just let's see what we've entered. We've entered LSD, so we're just going to put a tick there. We entered trippy shirt. Now again, this doesn't say trippy shirt, but includes trippy and includes shirt or t-shirt at the end here. Amazon does pick up on that. Their algorithm is very, very smart. So we did use this keyword. We have not used rave yet. We did use psychedelic again. We split up psychedelic shirt, so we have psychedelic and we have t-shirt at the end here. Amazon picks up on that, so we're gonna make a check. We use LSD right here. We use Molly because that is actually in the image, as you can see here. We have not used MDMA. We have not used ecstasy. We've not used rolling, but we have used EDM. So what we're left with, I'm just gonna rewrite them here. Rave, MDMA, ecstasy, if I could spell. Okay, I believe that these 4 are what is missing. So I always do the second bullet point first. And I keep the second bullet point very, very, very simple. I copy the title of my shirt. I paste it, Control V. And then I simply say, makes a great gift for, and then I enter who would make a great gift for. In this case, this is great for people at a rave, people who are at a music festival. So the title of the shirt makes a great gift for people who love to go to the local rave. How about that? So rave, same thing as music festival. And there you have it. This second bullet point here is finished. So I take the title of the shirt. Again, I spent time to go over putting keywords into the title without making it seem spammy. And then I simply copy the title of the shirt, put it in the second bullet point, and then I say it makes a great gift for blank. Whoever it would make a great gift for. If you're doing a gun shirt, this makes a great gift for people who support the Second Amendment. If you're doing a dog shirt, this makes a great gift for people who own a dog or who love their dog. If you're doing a shirt on politics, this makes a great gift for people who support Trump, people who support Hillary. It just depends on what your design is and who would make a great gift for. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, why would you reuse this? You've already put the keywords up here. I have literally done that since the beginning of Merch by Amazon, and it really, really helps tell the merch algorithm that these keywords here are relevant to the design, and you end up ranking higher. I promise it works. But again, this is something that you need to test. Test it out on your own products, test it out on your own shirts, and actually give it a try before you come back and say that, it doesn't work. So now that being said, we have a single bullet point left here. And before we do that, I'm going to check off rave because we did use that keyword. So now we have 3 more keywords that we need to enter in here, and then we have to fill out a product description. I do want to make a point that when you pull back a keyword list like this from the designs that are selling well, you don't have to use them all. Let me say that again. You do not have to use all the keywords in your listing. Sometimes it works better using maybe 3 to 4 keywords instead of whatever we have here, 7 to 10. It all just depends on testing and making sure that the listing is readable to the end customer. So we have MDMA, ecstasy, and rolling. So in this bullet point here, have you seen Molly? I might say this funny, have you seen Molly? What are our keywords here again? MDMA, ecstasy, rolling. This funny, have you seen Molly? How do you spell ecstasy? I'm always misspelling things. This funny, have you seen Molly ecstasy design? Remember, because I'm going to put this on, long sleeves and hoodies. So I don't just say t-shirt, I say design so I can copy and paste. This funny, have you seen Molly ecstasy design is great for people who want to get a laugh while rolling at the club. Okay, so we use ecstasy, we use rolling. Then I might follow it up by, remember, I'm trying to put this into a readable sentence, and since I'm not completely up on drug culture, I do have to think about it. That is why I am not just writing this off the top of my head. We do need to use MDMA. So we use this one. We use this one. What do we say? We said this funny, have you seen Molly ecstasy design is great for people who want to get a laugh while rolling at the club. If you know someone that is taking MDMA, they would appreciate this drug humor. And as you have it, what I always do again is I copy the first bullet point and I put it into the description. So just to recap, I put some keywords into the brand name, but I keep it short and I keep it simple so it's related to the shirt without looking spammy. For the title of the product, I always put either a piece of the saying or the full saying, and I surround it with keywords that make sense. Again, without keyword stuffing, without looking spammy. The second bullet point, I take the title of the product, I paste it in there, and I say that it's a great gift for blank. So you fill in the blank. What is this design a great gift for? In this typical instance, it's a great gift for people who like to go to the local rave. For the key product features, the first bullet point here, I put it in a sentence form, and I try to fit in some keywords. As you can see, I fit in some keywords here without looking spammy. So I said, this funny, have you seen Molly ecstasy design is great for people who want to get a laugh while rolling at the club. If you know someone that's taking MDMA, they would really appreciate this drug humor. So as you can see, you can read that out loud. It doesn't sound weird when I say it out loud, and that's what you want to make sure you do. So if you can say it to yourself without stumbling over your words, then you know that you have a good listing. So we'll continue. We will take a look at the product page here. And this all looks good to go. So that is one listing that's completely done. I grabbed keywords from the top selling shirts, but as you can see, if you come over here and you look at some of these shirts, let's just open them up again. If you look at this shirt, for example, you're going to read the first bullet point, psychedelic shirt, trippy shirts for women, trippy shirts for men. I don't even know how to say that. Acid, dimethylene shirt, trippy shirts for teen girls, so on and so forth. Terrible, terrible listing. But you were able to take out keywords from this listing and put them into an actual listing that makes sense, looks awesome, and has a unique design. So that's one way to do this. That is how I do it over and over again. Now, the more familiar you get with the niches that you're doing, the less you're going to have to come over here and look up keywords because you're already going to know them. But if you aren't familiar, you have to familiarize yourself first. So that's very, very, very important. Let's close these out. We have one listing here that is done, and we are going to move on to this one. Now, if you guys can see this, let me try to zoom in here. This design says ketosis is magical. So we will actually zoom back out and click next. All right, so this is not drug related at all, so we can pick youth. There's not going to be any bad words in here. Pretty friendly design. There's a little unicorn here sleeping on a rainbow with some bacon next to him. So again, pick the best colors that work for the listing. Now, for me, that is almost always going to be the darker colors. Blue looks pretty good, so we'll pick that. 5 colors. Again, set your price whatever you want, but I think you all know by now that my pricing strategy is price low. Get the initial sales, get the initial reviews, and then bump it up because you're playing the long game here. So we will continue. And again, we are on the page where we need to fill out the product details for Amazon. Now, again, if you are not familiar with ketosis, just Google it, okay? Ketosis. This is a metabolic state characterized by raised levels of ketone bodies in the body tissue, which is typically pathological in conditions such as diabetes, consequence of a diet that is very low in carbohydrates. So if you aren't familiar with the niche, familiarize yourself with the niche. If you have a basic understanding of what the niche is or does, maybe you need to look up different keywords or phrases, and that is typically where I start my process. So knowing that ketosis, keto is a diet, very, very popular diet for people who eat low carbs. So they cut out carbs, they use it to maintain their weight. It's also a diet used for treating diabetes, so on and so forth. So I can come over here to the product search, and I'm just going to type in keto. So keto is the actual diet. Ketosis is the state you go into on the diet, just so we are familiar. And we're going to let it bring back the results. All right, so it has brought back the results here. Brought back quite a few. We're going to go down here, and we can see there are a lot of designs, and they're selling very, very, very well. Now again, our design right here, okay, looks different than all of these. It needs to be a unique design. We already went over that in previous videos, so in this video, again, we're going over how to keyword a listing. I'm just going to open up some of the top sellers here. I think that should do it. And I'm going to bring up a notepad. That's what we used before. I'm going to exit all those out. And we're going to do the same exact process. So keto, this says Keto Guido, funny keto diet. So keto diet is the first keyword I see. Okay, now we're gonna go to the bullet points. This funny keto Guido shirt, perfect tee for any Italian. So when you're reading through these, notice how this person right here, they related their keywords back to the design and not the t-shirt. So since this is for Italians, they're relating Italian keywords with the keto keywords to their design. Very, very important. But since we are not doing an Italian shirt, we don't actually want to pull back those keywords. The keto diet, what I see here is ketogenic diet, so we're going to put that in there as well. I see low carb foods, then it lists a few low carb foods, but someone isn't going to be searching for, vegetables and want to buy a keto shirt. They're going to be searching for, the ketogenic diet, the keto diet, something like that. The low carb diet, I don't see that in here yet. The keto lifestyle is another one. So you guys can see this here. Keto lifestyle. Put that in there. Okay, and we're just going to close that out because we got some keywords from that listing, and we're going to move on to the next listing. Game of ketones, thinner is coming. Now, I probably would not do a design that looks like this just to make that note. This is using the Game of Thrones text. You don't want to be infringing on that stuff, guys. So let's see, ketones. I see ketones down here in the bullet. Ketones. Ketones are what your body kind of releases when you are eating very low carb. Let's see. Carbs are the enemy. I'm not really seeing much in this listing that suggests very many keywords being used. So when it comes down to it, this listing right here, it might have sold and it keeps selling because it's got a bunch of reviews. But I bet you if we scroll down, this is probably an older shirt. And as you see, yes, August 8th of 2017. So this was back when it was a lot easier to get, search volume, or search traffic and get that organic traffic. This is not a very good optimized listing. And that is what we're trying to do here, is come up with keywords so we can properly optimize our listing. So we're going to close this out. Ketosis is magical. Okay, 2 reviews. Ketosis is magical unicorns. Now this kind of relates to the design that we are putting up right here. Looks completely different though. Okay, this design and this design completely different. That's important. So we'll take a look at this. Let the ketones work their magic. Show off the benefits of a low-carb keto lifestyle. So, low-carb keto lifestyle. We may be able to split this up, low-carb keto lifestyle we already have up here. So we're just going to get rid of that. Low-carb is definitely a keyword that relates to the design in question. They put in a fitness t-shirt, but really this is a diet t-shirt, so we are not going to put that in there. Perfect for ketosis practicing, and I hate when people do this. Dad, mom, son, daughter, aunt, uncle, boyfriend, girlfriend, yada, yada, yada. That is just a waste of space. I don't know why people do that. It doesn't help. It does not help when people do this, so please do not do it yourself, and it looks really bad at the same time. Alright, so we'll go through this one. Keto diet, we have that. Low carb. Here's another one. High fat. Low carb, high fat is something you hear a lot. So, high fat. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to keep going down. Cooking keto. They list some keto ingredients here. But again, these ingredients don't really have anything to do with this except maybe an avocado. Okay, so just looking through this, we don't really get that many other keywords. We have one more to go. That says, I'm a keto girl in a carby world. Okay. Keto diet. We really, ketosis journey. Ketones. Again, lists off some ingredients for the diet. Okay. So this doesn't really offer that much either. So if we close this and we look at what we actually brought back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We brought back 7 keywords. We might not use them all since they're all very, very, very closely related. But again, that should be enough to actually keyword our listing. So the same thing applies to the first one we did over here. The same thing applies to this. So for the brand name, we are going to go into not very much detail, but we're going to use a keyword and make it look like an actual brand. So for this, I might say, we could just do keto lifestyle tees with a Z because we're going to be trendy on this one. Keto lifestyle tees. Now, for all your low carb shirts or all your diet shirts, we could throw them under this brand and it would look legit. It's not spammy. It's not 400 characters long. It's short enough where it makes sense and it's putting a keyword in there, but it's related back to the design. Now for the title of the product, again, I like to put in what it says on the shirt. So ketosis is magical t-shirt. And then we're going to look at our list here. And let me just check these off. So we use keto lifestyle. We are going to make a check mark by that. And then we're going to put some keywords in here. Ketosis is magical t-shirt. And this is kind of funny. It's a unicorn with bacon on a rainbow. So I might say, let's see, ketosis is magical t-shirt. So I might say funny unicorn. I'm going to put a unicorn in there because it's a very big niche. Funny unicorn, ketosis is magical t-shirt. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Now, as you can see, all I added was funny and unicorn. Ketosis is magical is what's on the shirt, and then I left it a t-shirt. If I put any of these other keywords inside the title, I think it might look a little weird. People might not be able to say it out loud. I don't really think that's going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to fit these into the bullet point. But again, I always do the second bullet point first by copying the title, pasting it down here, and I say the title of the shirt is a great gift for, and then let's look at our keywords. Is a great gift for, okay, is a great gift for people on the low carb, high fat diet. On, how about A, not the. Okay, so what we did right there is we hit low carb, we hit high fat, And guess what, guys? Let me just post it down here so you can see it. Funny Unicorn Ketosis is Magical T-shirt is a great gift for people on a low-carb, high-fat diet. You can read that out loud. It makes plenty of sense, and you're getting these keywords into your bullet points again without looking spammy. So now we just have a few keywords left. We have low-carb foods, ketogenic diet, keto diet, and ketones. So I'm going to say this funny ketogenic diet design is perfect for those people. Again, let's look at our keywords. Ketones, so we use this. For those people who are committed to the keto diet, or committed to the keto diet and live off of ketones. So I'm a little bit familiar with this niche. Ketones are what your body emits when you eat, or kind of releases when you eat a really low carb diet. So your body starts burning fat instead of carbs. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. So we used this keyword, we used this keyword. There we go. And now we have low carb food. So let me just put this down here. Again, I always take the first bullet point and I put it down here, but it's just easier to see. This funny ketogenic diet design is perfect for those people who are committed to the keto diet and live off of ketones. I'm going to add one more thing in here because we didn't use low carb foods. Grab some low carb foods such as bacon and avocados to eat while you are wearing this funny design. Let's not include funny. We already include funny right here. So again, to read that out loud, this funny ketogenic diet design is perfect for those people who have committed to the keto diet and live off of ketones. Grab some low-carb foods such as bacon and avocados to eat while you're wearing this design. Makes sense, so I'm going to copy it, and I'm just going to paste it in the first bullet point, because the first bullet point and the description, for me, are always the same. Now, to explain why I do that, the description is what shows up on mobile. So if you're on your mobile device and you're searching for your shirts on Amazon, instead of a bullet point showing up in search, this is what's going to show up. You're going to see the title of your shirt, and then you're going to see the product description. So if you want your things to look good on mobile, fill out the product description. Do not just see that it's optional and forget about it. All right, so that is basically, in a nutshell, how I go through and keyword a listing. Very, very, very simple. Just to recap it for pretty much a third time, use Merch Informer, go through your favorites, go through the Merch Hunter, go through anything you can in here to see the best sellers, something you've looked at before, maybe you want to revisit something you threw in your favorites. You put them there for a reason. You put them there because they have the search traffic that you want. You already know people are buying them because that's why they're showing up. People are buying them. There's customer demand, and all you have to do is keyword your listings in order to put them in front of customers. So the way we do that is looking at people who already are where you want to be. So in any kind of business, you look up to people who are where you want to be, you learn from them, and then you go and you do that yourself. So what we're doing is we're looking at listings that they're getting sales. We're figuring out what keywords in those listings are what's getting in front of customers. That's why we take a notepad or something like that, write them all down, and then we use them in our own listings in a unique way, in a sentence without keyword stuffing. So very, 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 very simple. And that's basically what I do over and over again. I am not going to do this listing. I think we need to find one in the Merch Hunter that is not keyworded very well, and we will go over how to keyword that. And then we'll wrap it up here. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm going to go to let's see. I did top 100, that'd be why. Okay. Okay, we're going to go the 10th page here. And we're going to try to find something that is not optimized well. I'm going to show you how we can optimize it. And right off the bat, this one's not very well optimized. Keep scrolling down here. This is some infringement. Don't do this. Don't do that. That'll get you in big trouble. Man, don't do this either. A lot of infringement going on. Okay. This is a good example. Okay, so what is the first thing you see when you look at this listing? Not the design, the actual listing. The first thing that sticks out to me is they put men's here. They put men's in the title, which is a complete and utter waste of space. Why is it a waste of space? Because Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they clearly know when you select the fit type of men that it's a men's shirt. Okay, so there's no reason to put that up here. It's already in your listing. Amazon isn't dumb. They can figure out that this is for men. They're going to rank it properly. Now they put best buck and dad ever. So they put this into the title. I like that. But then they do this weird dash hunting lover gifts. Terrible, terrible. So let me open this. Let me just open up another notepad here. Bring it over here so you guys can see it. And let's just step through this. So you can't see the design, I know, but let's do this. Brand. For a brand name, they put hunting lover gifts. I think that's a terrible brand name. I would probably put something along the lines of the design again. Best buck and dad ever. I might say Rifle Hunting Design Co. Okay, most people hunt deer with a rifle. Rifle hunting is definitely a season of hunting. Rifle Hunting Design Co. sounds like an actual company. It's not Hunting Lover Gifts. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm not saying this is the best brand name in the world. I just came up with it, but it is much better than Hunting Lover Gifts. Now, we're going to do the title of a shirt. So, title. I am not a hunter myself, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the product search, and we're going to type in hunting and search. We'll let it bring back the results. All right, so the results are brought back. We're just going to come down here, and we're going to look at these. Now, again, guys, the whole point of this exercise and looking at these shirts that are already up on Amazon, they're already selling. They're selling very, very well. They're selling well because they got in front of customers. And they got in front of customers because these are all filled out. We're going to open up a few of these. Just a few. And we're going to look at them. So, let's see here. Fishing and hunting shirts, gifts for hunters who love to hunt. Okay. Again, terrible, terrible, terrible title. Terrible brand name. But they have 6 reviews. You have to realize that when you're starting out, you don't have any reviews. Once you get the reviews, reviews can definitely overcome a terrible title and terrible brand. But you start out with 0 reviews, so that's why it's important to optimize your listing properly. Hunting lovers. I'm just looking down here. Great hunter. Outdoor adventure. Funny. I don't know what this has to do with camping. But okay. Sorry I wasn't listening. I was thinking about hunting. Rifle deer. I mean, so this, whoever did this probably doesn't speak the best English, but you know, they understand that most people hunt deer with a rifle. Again, they just shoved in a bunch of holidays. Don't do this. That one's not optimized well either. I'm just looking for keywords in here. And these are all terrible. Oh, deer hunting. All right, so let's actually go back. Where was that shirt? This one right here. Okay, so you see the design. You see the design right here. And we have Rifle Hunting Design Co. as a better brand. Now for the title says best bucking dad ever. So I might say that's kind of funny best bucking dad ever hunting t-shirt. Or actually I put best bucking dad ever deer hunting t-shirt. Okay, you can read that out loud to yourself. It makes plenty of sense. So bullet point 1 and then bullet point 2. Then we're going to do the description. So let's actually spread these out a bit. So again, I usually take the title, put it in bullet point 2. So I say, title of the shirt: makes a great gift for the father who always loves to take their son or daughter hunting. Actually, let's put another keyword in there: rifle hunting. Okay, so again, we put some keywords in the title: deer hunting. We put the name of the shirt: best bucking dad ever. So it's clearly a gift for dads who like hunting. So we said the title of the shirt makes a great gift for the father who loves to take their son or daughter rifle hunting. We put that in there because I'm assuming the father himself is not purchasing this for himself. The son, the daughter, the wife, someone is buying him this shirt as a gift, and we're putting in makes a great gift. So it all kind of works together. You have to think like a customer. Why would you be looking for this shirt if you were the target demographic? Now for bullet point 1, we want to put in some keywords. So we might say this funny hunting pun, because it says best bucking dad ever, so it's a hunting pun. This funny hunting pun design will make any serious deer hunter laugh. Let's see here. If you are taking your children hunting for the first time, then you are... Let's see, I need to read this, make sure it makes sense. If you are taking your children hunting for the first time, then you are a great hunting dad who is sure to get a trophy buck. Alright, so let's just read that out loud to ourselves and make sure it makes sense. This funny hunting pun design will make any serious deer hunter laugh. If you're taking your children hunting for the first time, then you are a great hunting dad who is sure to get a trophy buck. So I can read that out loud to you guys. It makes sense. I don't stumble over my words. After it's written, of course, I stumble over them plenty while I'm trying to think out loud. But it all makes sense. So I take the first bullet point. Okay, it's got keywords in there. And I shove it down in the description. So let's just look at what I created here. If we can still see this here. And line it up to these. So our first bullet point I just did for you. This funny hunting pun design will make any serious deer hunter laugh. Okay? Compare that to best bucking dad ever t-shirt, best bucking dad ever t-shirt, best bucking dad ever t-shirt, hunting lover gifts, hunting t-shirt, hunting loving lovers t-shirt, hunter t-shirt, hunter t-shirt. What a mouthful of absolute garbage. There's no reason to do this when you can do what I just showed you, which is, let me find it here. Which is right here. So when you can make something that makes sense and get your keywords in there without spamming the page, then please do it, because not only is it going to help you rank and get in front of people, but Amazon's not going to come down on you in the future if they do something about this. It's going to build trust with the customer, and ultimately you're going to make a lot more sales because of it. So I think that's going to wrap up today's video. We went over how to keyword a few listings here. This one right here, Have You Seen Molly, in a niche that I'm not familiar with, so I showed you kind of my thought process there. We keyworded another listing here, so ketosis is magical, where we went through the same process, and then I showed you guys how to keyword something actually on Amazon that is poorly optimized. So you can follow the same steps. Again, make sure that you're testing everything, that you're playing around with different techniques, that you're playing around with price, that you're playing around with your title. One title might be better than another. put one up, leave it for a month, see what happens. If you're not getting the results you want, try something else. It's all about just testing the market. But the strategies that I showed you in order to keyword these listings, they do work. I promise they work. And they get the keywords in the listings while building trust with the customer. So that's going to be all for today. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to drop them probably down below the video, and I will do my best to reach out and get whatever you need help with solved. So that's going to be all for today, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.